Hi, my name is Meg Carson. I'm a science teacher and a STEAM facilitator, and also a Girl Scout leader. Today, I'm going to show you the MIT App Inventor website and emulator so that you can create your own apps. I will be showing you two different sections in two different videos. On the first section, we'll be going over the designer element, and in the second video, we will be going over the coding elements. The idea is to make you familiar with the buttons so that you are willing to go dive in and try on your own. Let's get started. Here is the Create App button. I'm already logged into the website, so I'm just going to click. I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to name it MadLib's Girl Scouts. Oops. MadLib's Girl Scouts. Now notice when I typed in that button, I'll show you again in a second when my screen comes up. On the left-hand side, right here under Properties, it shows the name of the app that I typed in. On the left-hand side is our palette with all of our different buttons. In the middle is our emulator. The things that we add to our little app will be here in our components, and the properties are here on the right. There's a lot of different things you can explore. So the first thing we want to do is add a title. We're going to use a label. I'm going to click on it and drag it here. Now it's lining up on the left, but I would like to see it in the center. So I go over to the right to the properties, and I'm going to go back to my screen one, and I'm going to center it right here. So you can do that on yours. Notice there's also colors here, and there's also background images. If you decide to upload an image, you just click the button and you upload a file that you've already downloaded from your computer. For time's sake, I'm just going to keep going. Now, I want to add quite a few of these labels because I'm going to make a MadLib's game. So, I'm going to need 10 other labels besides my title. I'm going to add those now. Now, the one thing I want to make sure as I do this is that I add all the numbers. I've had that problem before where a number was missing and it made for a bug in the code. Did you know the original term bug in the code came from when bugs really got into big giant computer servers? All right, one more and that will be done. Now, at some point, I'm going to get to the point where I can't go down any further. So I need to make sure that this is scrollable. And I do that in the Properties section by going down, and look, there it is, scrollable. I want to make sure that I click that. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to go any further down on my screen. Now, I also am going to need to use some text boxes so that it reads my text out loud. These will also go under our labels. When I click it and drag it over, the blue line shows me where it's going to drop it. I'm going to make sure that there is a text box for every label that we already have added. I'm also double checking that all the numbers are correct, just in case there's a bug. One thing that's very important when you're coding is making sure that you're thinking like a computer. When a oh, look at that. See, we got a little problem right there. That guy needed to go right there. There we go. When you are coding, you have to think like a computer. And a computer only will do things in the order that you've told it. So that is why I noticed there was an error in my drag and drop because I had two text boxes next to each other. I'm going to continue to drag and drop. So whatever kind of program you want to create, that's what you're going to do, is just add these labels, these text boxes, and eventually you're going to want to add some sound. But before I do that, at the end of answering the Mad Libs, you're going to want to have them press a button so that they can add all the text, they can listen to the program run. So I'm going to drag and drop a button right there. I'm going to double check. Yep, here on my components area, I'm double checking to make sure I have got all my numbers and making sure that I've got my buttons. So now we need to add some speech. My speech is actually in my media section right here. So I click on that and look, there is a text to speech. Just like the other ones, we're going to drag and drop them, but these don't actually show up on the screen. They're going to appear here underneath and here in the components. So again, you need to make sure that you have the correct number. I'm going to scroll back up on my virtual phone because I need to make sure that they go one for each of them. Now notice here, this is where they end up, down at the bottom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoops, I've got to scroll down, 8, 9, 10, and one more, 11. I double check in this area here and make sure we've got them all right there. But how about some fun colors? I'm going to go for some Girl Scout green. So I'm going to go back up to my labels, and in the text boxes, I'm going to switch my color. I'm going to go for a nice green, and look, there it goes. So same thing. I'm going to do that all the way down. Now again, you do not have to do your project exactly the same as this. This is my project. Oops, look at that. I missed text box 3. This is my project, and this is the way I want mine to appear. Text box 5. Text box 6. Seven. 8. 9. And 10. And 11. Now, part of the reason that I chose the green was I wrote a worksheet for myself on how I was going to plan all of this out, and I want to show you part of it. At the bottom of my worksheet, I wrote out the Girl Scout Law and Promise, which is what I am basing my Mad Libs on, and in my worksheet, I highlighted all the words I was changing with this exact same color green. So to me, I was continuing the idea over from one to the other. So these words will be replaced in the Mad Libs, and the hint will be added that you're going to add verbs, places, plural nouns, adjectives, present tense verbs, etc. So that's a fun way that you could create a Mad Libs for school or for Girl Scouts, or you can create your own. Now, let's go back to our program. Now we need to add a label for all these. So we're going to go up to the text for label 1, and we're going to create our title. That will be over here with our text. So it is the Girl Scout Law and Promise Mad Libs. Now, once I click it, it will appear in the button in the middle. There we go. Now, as I mentioned before, I have already created the parts that we're going to add to our Mad Libs. So now I'm going to type those parts in here. So my first one is a present tense verb. There it is. My next one, the label, is for my place. Enter. My next one is a plural noun. Enter. My next one is a noun. Adjective. Two more adjectives. Then we have a plural noun. A place. And lastly, a noun. Last but not least, we're going to put in our text for our button that says, put it together. Well, there we go. We put it all together. Now we're ready to code our project. That will be video 2. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you learned something. Have a great day.